Hello friends, I am Aditi. Welcome to my channel Library Mouse. Today I am going to read a book, How to Develop Self-Confidence and Influence People by Public Speaking by Dale Carnegie. This book contains 12 chapters, so let's continue with chapter 8. Tie your topic up to vital interests of your hearers, being on some note that comes straight to the personal interest of the audience. That is one of the best of all possible ways to start. It is sure to get attention. We are mightily interested in the things that touch us significantly, momentously. That is only common sense, isn't it? Yet the use of it is very uncommon. For example, I heard a speaker begin a talk on the necessity of periodic health examinations. How did he open? By telling the history of the Life Extension Institute, how it was organized, and the service it was rendering. Absurd. Our hearers have not the foggiest, not the remotest interest in how some company somewhere was formed, but they are stupendously and entirely interested in themselves. Why not recognize that fundamental fact? Why not show how that company is of vital concern to them? Why not begin something like this? Do you know how long you are expected to live according to life insurance tables? Your expectancy of life, as insurance statisticians praise it, is 2/3 of the time between your present age and 80. For example, if you are 35 now, the difference between your present age and 80 is 45. You can expect to live 2/3 of that amount, or another 30 years. Is that enough? No. We are all passionately eager for more. Yet those tables are based upon millions of records. May you and I then hope to beat them? Yes, with proper precautions we may. But the very first step is to have a true physical examination. Then if we explain in detail why the periodic health examination is necessary, the hearer might be interested in some company formed to render that service. But to begin talking about the company in an impersonal way, it is disastrous, deadly. Take another example. I heard a student begin a talk on the prime urgency of conserving our forest. He opened like this: "We as Americans ought to be proud of our national resources." From that sentence, we went on to show that we are wasting our timber at a shameless and indefensible pace. But the opening was bad, too general, too vague. We did not make his subject seem vital to us. There was a printer in that audience. The destruction of our forest will mean something very real to his business. There was a banker. It is going to affect him, for it will affect our general prosperity, and so on. Why not begin then by saying, "The subject I am going to speak about affects your business, Mr. Appleby, and yours, Mr. Saul. In fact, it will in some measures affect the price of the food we eat and the rent that we pay. It touches the welfare and prosperity of us all." Is that exaggerating the importance of conserving our forests? No, I think not. It is only obeying Albert Hubbard's injunctions to paint the picture large and put the matter in a way that compels attention. The attention power of shocking facts. A good magazine article said S.S.M.C. Clear, the founder of an important periodical, is a series of shocks. They jar us out of our daydreams. They seize, they demand attention. Here are some illustrations. Mr. N.D. Ballantyne of Baltimore began his addresses on the marvels of radio with his statement: "Do you realize that the sound of a fly walking across a pane of glass in New York can be broadcast by radio and made to roar away off in Central Africa like the falls of Niagara?" Mr. Harry G. Jones, president of Harry G. Jones Company of New York City, began his talk on the criminal situation with these words: "The administration of our criminal law," declared William Howard Taft, then Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, "is a disgrace to civilization." That has the double advantage of being not only a shocking opening, but the shocking statement is quoted from an authority or jurisprudence. Mr. Paul Gibbons, former president of the Optimist Club of Philadelphia, opened an address on crime with these arresting statements. The American people are the worst criminals in the world. Astounding as that assertion is, it is true. Cleveland, Ohio has 6 times as many murders as London. It has 170 times as many robberies according to its population. As has London, more people are robbed every year or assaulted with intent to rob in Cleveland than in all England, Scotland and Wales combined. More people are murdered every year in St. Louis than in all England and Wales. There are more murders in New York City than in all France or Germany or Italy or the British Isles. The sad truth of the matter is that the criminal is not punished. If you commit a murder, there is less than 1 chance in 100 that you will ever be executed for it. You, as a peaceful citizen, and 10 times as liable to die from cancer as you would be to be hanged if you shot a man. That opening was successful, for Mr. Gibbons put the request's power and earnestness behind his words. They lived, they breathed. However, I have heard other students begin their talks on the crime situation with somewhat similar illustrations. Yet their opening were mediocre. Why? Words, words, words. Their technique of construction was flawless, but their spirit was nil. Their manner vitiated and imitated all they said. The value of the slimmingly casual opening. How do you like the following opening and why? Mary E. Richmond is addressing the annual meeting of the New York League of Women Voters in the days before legislation against child marriages. Yesterday, as the train passed through a city not far from here, I was reminded of a marriage that took place there a few years ago. Because many other marriages in this state have been just as hasty and disastrous as this one, I am going to begin what I have to say today with some of the details of the individual instance. It was on December 12 that a high school girl of 15 in that city met for the first time a junior in a nearby college who had just attended his majority. On December 15th, only 3 days later, they procured a marriage license by swearing that the girl was 18 and was therefore free from the necessity of procuring parental consent. Leaving the city clerk's office with their license, they applied at once to a priest. The girl was a Catholic, but very popularly he refused to marry them. In some way, perhaps through this priest, the child's mother received news of the attempted marriage before she could find her daughter. However, a justice of the peace had united the pair. The bridegroom then took his bride to a hotel where they spent 2 days and 2 nights, at the end of which time he abandoned her and never lived with her again. Personally, I liked that opening very much. The very first sentence is good. It forecasts an interesting reminiscence. We want to hear the details. We settle down to listen to a human interest story. In addition to that, it seems very natural. It does not smack of the study. It is not formal. It does not smell on the lamp. Yesterday, as the train passed through a city not far from here, I was reminded of a marriage that took place there a few years ago. Sounds natural, spontaneous, human. Sounds like one person relating an interesting story to another. An audience likes that. But it is very liable to shy at something too elaborate. Something that reeks of preparation with malice aforethought. We want the art that conceals art. Here we completed our chapter 8. In next video we will continue with chapter 9. Thank you so much for listening it, and I hope it is understandable to you. If you enjoy watching my videos, do like, subscribe and share with your family and friends. Thank you.